northeast town of Beechworth, history doesn't sleep, it's alive and well. Once filled with gold and ambition in the 1850s, this town wears its past like a well-kept secret. Beneath the vintage shopfronts and wine-soaked celebrations, something older remains, watching and waiting. The town of Beechworth was chosen for one of Victoria's 3 great asylums. Built not just for care, but for containment. For minds unravelled by isolation, hardship, or by something no one could quite explain at the time. Just down the hill stands another testament to 19th century containment. Old Beechworth Jail, a cold, unyielding structure that once held bushranger Ned Kelly alongside his mother Alan Kelly and brother Dan Kelly. The walls were built from the earth itself and carry stories that live on. But it's Mayday Hills Asylum that calls me back, again and again. I've walked through haunted places across continents, through the silence of the Tower of London, the shadows of the Washoe Club, and of course the corridors of Arrowdale Lunatic Asylum. But nothing behaves like Beechworth. This place doesn't just feel haunted, it responds, it interacts, and I needed to know, is this still the most haunted location in Australia? Beneath Beechworth lies a landscape shaped long before the town itself, lifted from the ancient seabeds over 450 million years ago as the Great Dividing Range rose. Volcanic forces pushed up granite hills, later elevated into the high country of northeast Victoria. Through this stone run veins of quartz, pale and luminous. Some believe it can store and transmit energy, an unseen current beneath the surface, leaving you to wonder if what lingers here is not just in the buildings above, but deep within the land itself. Perched high above the town, Mayday Hills looms, abandoned but not empty. At its peak, 67 buildings stretched across the hillside. Over 1,200 patients, 500 staff, a self-contained world, sealed off for 128 years. It closed in 1998, but closure didn't seem to silence this structure. Fragments of the past remain, faces, records, and sad tales of lives that led to confinement. Could it be possible they never truly left? You can now voluntarily commit yourself to Mayday Hills. Lineker Hotel is housed in a building once home to the nurses who walked these halls long after dark. A beautiful place to sleep, if sleep manages to find you, because whatever follows you out of these asylum cells may just come back with you. The hotel is named after Hugh Lineker, a landscape gardener who worked on various state government projects in Victoria, including Arrowdale Asylum, the Buchan Caves, Mont Park, Sunbury Asylum and Yarra Bend Park. We took the opportunity to conduct an Estes Method session in our room at the Lineker Hotel. With thin walls and heavy-footed neighbours, it was a difficult area to investigate. But even so, some interesting responses filtered through.
There's one.
How many spirits are here?
There's 2 something.
Oh.
Get off.
What, the bed?
Tell me.
Can you tell us your name? Are you male or female?
Jack.
Oh, name's Jack. Okay. So I guess that answered the other question too. You're a male. Unless you're Jacqueline. I don't know. How old are you?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. How old are you, Jack? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello. Can you make some noise for us?
I did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what I'm holding?
Is it me?
No.
Everything.
Yeah. How many spirits are here?
93.
Holy shit.
On time.
Are you part of this place? Did you have a family here?
No.
Okay.
Actually buggered or something.
Do you like this place?
All over.
Are there more people in this room with us? Spirits?
Yeah.
Okay. What are their names?
Sybil.
Sybil? Sybil? Sybil?
Zoe.
Zoe? Hey, Sybil and Zoe. Can I speak
The
to you?
block
Oh, on the block.
fell off.
Off the block.
Impact.
I suppose the block did fall off, kind of. Oh, impact, okay. Do you have friends where you are?
What?
Do you have friends with you or family?
Hello, yeah.
Okay. That's
Yep.
good. That's good. You shouldn't be alone. Are you stuck here?
Call it off. Really. Final. 3.
How old are you? Do you
All weekend. 20.
20, okay.
Spaghetti.
20 spaghetti.
Now.
Do you want us here? Should we leave?
Yeah. And yes.
Good. Is there anything here that means us harm? I heard her door.
Odal,
That just took me off guard.
do you like Game of Thrones? Or is that your name? What is your name?
I don't.
You don't know. Is this building itself haunted?
Go.
You don't want to.
Spoon. And
Do you like having people come stay here? What's your name? My name's Stacy.
I swear I heard a bit of Druid Sandstorm. The town. Know this.
Do you like music? I love music.
Tell my brother.
What do you want us to tell your brother?
Fuck off.
No, we're just trying to find out who might still be here. You don't mean to intrude.
What an asshole.
Are you talking about me?
We never.
Are you talking to each other? What's your brother's name?
Steve?
Your brother's name is Steve? Is he with you or is he still living?
Pass.
Are you talking to me or are you talking to Steve? Are you talking about the noisy people out in the hallway? Do you think we'll get any activity tomorrow night on our paranormal investigation of the asylum?
You.
I will.
I ran? Things like I ran.
Oh, I ran. Where did you run?
A little bit of dubstep. Drum and bass there. Music and.
Do you like music?
Oh yeah.
Music's good, isn't it? Do you still listen to music where you are?
Yeah.
What kind of music is your favourite?
Getting like house techno music coming in right now.
Do you like all kinds of music?
Yeah, it's me.
I like all kinds of music too, but rock is my favourite. Do you?
Yeah, why?
Because I like the way it makes me feel.
Amazing.
Yes, it makes me feel amazing.
Not bad.
Do you know how many spirits are in this building?
Night light?
Yeah, I've got a light on at the moment, but I'll turn it off later.
No.
No, you like it? How many spirits are in this room?
I just got that hey again.
Okay, thanks for talking to us. I'm glad you still listen to music. And then, on a Sunday night in autumn, we joined a paranormal investigation of Mayday Hills. Guides speak of patience, of suffering, of shapes forming in the dark. You might tell yourself that they are just fanciful stories, but somewhere along the tour, you'll start to believe.
In 1867, shut in 1995. Okay, now you have the 18-year-old nurse up for Melbourne. As you can see, the original painting.
I'm not someone who attracts this kind of thing. Nothing happens to me, not usually. Not in the world's most infamous locations, not ever. Maybe I have a wall up. Maybe my pockets full of black tourmaline are doing their job. But Beechworth is different. Because something did happen to me here. Once, then twice, both times in the same room. And I'm not the only one. I've spoken to others, people who experienced nothing, not until visiting this asylum on the hill. It's almost as if it's waiting. So the question isn't if something is there, it's why are they so desperate to be heard? The Upper Women's Ward is an original 1860s building that has not been renovated or updated much since. It was closed in the 1970s and used as storage, which explains why it hasn't been updated.
Squealing children in the northeast. So if we get that, we know it's coming out of the box. 11,
On the top floor there are 4 original 1860s cells, as well as the matron's apartment and office.
come on, look. I want you to try something. Just come over here. Come over here and put your finger on those initials. And how do you feel? If I told you her name was Maureen, if I told you her name was Maureen Neve,
Go.
now we'd suspected this is where she was, another guide, and when I found it, no one had seen that before. It was totally undocumented. But see the M's all around here, and the 15, sort of consistent with the 15-year-old girl at school teacher in a secondary school. So
One of the original matrons, Matron Sharp, is reported to be encountered in this area.
What's that say? Pete, you're dead. Of course, there's got to be a pentagram somewhere.
that's how big it is, like that's the roof, the side of the thing over there. So above you is another layer the same height as this and goes all the way around. You can see there's a window there. So when you're walking around in the attic, they're like little buildings. But it's as wide as this, but there's no other walls in it, except for these little tiny ones. So the little cottages every now and then, and some of the storage cupboards. But this is a whole wide thing, goes right down. It's like a ship's deck. And it's great fun because we went up there and found lots of stuff. Need a volunteer. You're going to stand right there. Nothing's going to happen, you know. Anyone just stand and be brave. And these rooms are very weird because in 1954 they changed the name of them. They became wood storage rooms. Now, if you look in there, it's got, see the brown lines that run around the top? They show in Victorian buildings, that's in Queen Victoria, Victorian buildings, they designate prison cell. Now this isn't the original door, you can see how the fittings for the door are on the inside. Victorian prison cells had the door on the inside, so they opened inwards. So if you were in there, you were told to stand back, and you had to run around the door to get out. So it stopped you running out and shirt front and go. This one's very unusual. It's one of the few ones left remaining in the world that still has the feed tray cut out in the floor. See the cut there in the floor? That had a metal tray to put the food in. The food came through a flap in the door. You were put in there. Remember the description of the room? Small, dark, no furnishing, no bedding, and no clothes. This is a solitary confinement. Thanks, girl. This is a solitary confinement cell. It's a pretty serious one, and you can see it's Victorian because it's short. Didn't have a lot of 6'2" girls in 1860. See how short it is?
Whose voice is that? It sounds like a young female. And to me, it sounds different to the women that were on the tour with us.
I used to stay up late on Friday nights and watch the horror movies, war movies, spooky movies, science fiction movies, and I always had one problem. I could never figure out how they got people to go down empty, dark corridors into a room where you can do horrible things to them. I couldn't figure out how you could get people to do that. When I started working here, I found the answer. Just head on down there. Oh, come on. Everyone bought home rats and cases for them. Sure love, jumping. Doesn't that make you go, oh! Yeah. I have a suspicion that mine's Did you open it wrong? You'll say, oh, this way. Jump on the airport. It's an incredibly dark road in the a big car pulls up, and there's a woman sitting there, and a big bloke. And she says, "George, you like the ride? We just got to go to Maisie's and pick up some things. But we'll drive you there every morning." So we look off the road, there's no thing, until it's just forest. I believe sometimes psychics in islands. What do you want to do tonight, Lee? A move up later? Are you going into the pavilion? Oh. Whoa! You nearly got the free isolation test. Okay, we're off.
Olivine was the men's criminally insane cottage in a high security area. It features an open courtyard in the middle.
This one's probably the best one. This one's very period because it's got nothing. You can see they've got shutters and they've got holes in them, so it's not severe as women's. This men didn't get lunacy, so these have holes for the light to come in. Again, they're pretty thick shutters. These aren't the original doors. In the 1950s, to solve a problem, they put the lino up the edge of the wall, and I'll tell you what that was for. There was no heaters until the 1950s. So that's the cell, same size as the women, but just a different thing because of the lack of shutters, so not as impressive. But this is the impressive part. Now this courtyard out here, to show the severity of this wing, this courtyard here isn't a splash pool to learn to teach children how to swim in 2 centimetres of water. it had a purpose. The fellas in here tended to do something that is consistent with high security cells, prisons and hospitals. Is you put them in their cell, they immediately take their clothes off, produce art materials and paint a mural for you. They'd probably like to keep it. Perhaps if they serve broccoli on Tuesdays, they could finish their treescape. But they don't let them do that. They come out here in the morning without their clothes on and have to stand here, and then they're ordered to rotate. And that's the shower head over there. Used to be a canvas hose, so they rotated and they got hosed out. Now we weren't 100% sure on that, but in the last few months I had a man, a prisoner, from a prison up in Tumbarumba, and he said, "Oh, she's in Tumbarumba, I'm myself here," and we used to call them dirty bastards. And each morning they say, "Come on, you dirty bastards," and they take them over a concrete slab and order them to rotate, and they'd squirt them with a hose. And then I had a prison guard here about a month ago, and he said, "Yeah, we call it bronze nut. That happens every night." They still coat himself with stuff, so they still have the same facilities, but it's a concrete slab. So it's a pretty serious little wing. And as I said, once you get in here, there's no lights coming from the side. You'll notice the Milky Way really kicks in.
Got a light that's supposed to extend, and I can't attach it to that. I was only new. Okay, we might as well go in and get up and close and personal with the boys.
A man named Abraham was murdered by another patient in the main room. A broom was broken over his head by the fireplace, and he fell into the fire. He died 3 days later from burns and bleeding on the brain. Sometimes guests report smelling burnt hair in that area.
So would you sleep in here?
Yeah.
Yep, yes, it's a correct answer.
Activity here includes burning sensations, sudden headaches, and general uneasiness. Common occurrences are banging or tapping on walls, doors, or the large table, and a shadow figure peering from the kitchen into the main room.
Most of the paranormal investigation tools are incredibly expensive. Now this one, if you wanted something cheap for paranormal investigations, this is a EMF meter from J-Car. That's the electronic shop, and it's very hard to set off. That's why we like it. It's got flickering. It's very hard to set off. John's meters from.
I have a weird thing.
What?
I think something wants that door open over there.
Over
Like
there?
the kitchen door.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We
So
can
I
go in
was
there.
thinking, I think someone like on the outside of the door tried to open the door.
Yeah.
And then I said, can you open it? And then like, yeah, no, I don't know. Maybe I'm just weird.
They're getting very well managed. Keep talking to them. Look, whatever. Is a lovely okay? Now, I have in the discovery, thank you, the other night, and I always put it here.
Grevillea was originally two smaller 14-bed male cottages, later joined to form the male infirmary.
Notice they're not in toilets, notice they don't have doors.
Once the gender division within the hospital was relaxed, it became a general hospital ward for both genders.
See how good we are at sleeping.
Approximately 3,000 patients died in this building alone, and the paranormal activity level within Grevillea reflects that.
The ice on here for the fish and seafood, lettuce and the big swirly thing and the tap, and they've got the sharp things. And the ice on liver. Good. That's right, okay. Now, this room is interesting because it has a doctors coming up and down there on the table ledge. I asked him what he's doing, and he said table ledge, mate. I thought, well, that's consistent. If you get it all together, sometimes it just doesn't make sense when you get garbage. But then the 5 cents when I said, people walked in and I said, where's mine? And that's when the little officer.
Is this a torchlight or something else? What do you think?
And that's like it's down to there. It just goes in and out.
Do you hear the ominous breath here? Listen carefully. Our tour wound up without incident. For the 3-hour tour, I didn't feel anything as strong as I had in the past, but I was excited to review the footage I had captured. Remnants of the ha-ha wall remain, and during the day I took a relaxing stroll towards the back of the grounds to find a large portion of the wall. Ha-ha walls are a landscape design trick, and used by Australian asylums as sunken barriers designed to keep patients contained without the oppressive sight of towering fences. From a distance, the landscape appears open and uninterrupted. Only when you approach does the ground suddenly fall away into a steep ditch, often lined with stone on one side, forming an invisible boundary that is difficult to cross. The name is of French origin and derives from the exclamation of surprise that viewers would make on recognizing the optical illusion. In places like Beechworth, these concealed walls blur the line between freedom and confinement, shaping not just the land, but the subtle psychology of those who walked it. It's hard not to notice the pure peacefulness of the grounds now. The stories of sad lives and mistreatment fade away as the birds chirp and the sun shines on your soul. But then, the times have changed and my mind is sound. At least, for now anyway. At Mayday Hills, patients were not only trapped by the ha-ha wall, but by their own minds. On the way out of town, I visited the cemetery to pay my respects to the pioneers of Beechworth, those that fought to mine gold and build a life, only to end up fighting for it in Mayday Hills. These days, you can check out of Mayday Hills Asylum freely. The gates are open, the corridors are peaceful, but rest assured the experience will stay with you. Places like this don't forget so easily. Something of it follows, the sense that something may have noticed you. So yeah, you can check out of Mayday Hills, but one way or another it never quite lets you go. Just like me, you'll find yourself returning, sooner or later.